and happy New Year's. Guess what? I am here to give a very, very quick video that will help you essentially be a better you in the new year, okay? And especially as it pertains to anti-racism. So I just want to encourage you to go ahead and reflect on 2021 and then commit to things for 2022. Let's go ahead and start first with reflecting for 2021. As you're reflecting for 2021, I want to encourage you to reflect on 4 things. The first thing I want you to reflect on is all the ways that you are proud of how much you contributed to the fight to end racism. Yes. So this should be very holistic. It should include your personal life. It should include your professional life. It should include everything in between. What did you contribute through your time? What did you contribute in terms of how you prioritized different projects? What situations were you intentional about calling out racism? All of these different things. What are some of the highlights for you that you are proud of that you did in 2021? The second thing I want to encourage you to reflect on are all the ways that you inserted yourself in situations that actually stretched you. Yes, guess what? Uncomfortable situations are good. These are good. Instead of leaning out of uncomfortable situations, leaning in to uncomfortable situations to address and disrupt racism are actually ways that we are stretched. Guess what? When we're stretched, we grow. So be sure in your reflection of 2021 to list down all the ways that you were intentional about making the decision to insert yourself in situations that maybe you wouldn't have otherwise have done that actually resulted in you growing and you stretching and all of that good stuff. The third thing I want to encourage you to reflect on are all the ways that you invested in your growth to learn more about racism this year. Yes, that is important. Listen, even as a racial equity expert myself, I am still investing in my learning. Learning looks differently at different stages and differently in every season. Maybe it was something that you invested in terms of a course. Guess what? Go to lifechangingpractices.com for more on my course that will help you address racism, right? And develop those practices. Maybe it was a webinar that you attended. Maybe it was a book that you read. Maybe it's the fact that you're on this YouTube channel right now and you've actually been learning and growing along with us in this community. Whatever it is, just go ahead and write down all the things that you've actually invested in when it comes to your money and when it comes to your time to learn and grow yourself, okay? And also too, just a little thing. If that list is short, it means that there's an opportunity for growth. So that gets us to our 4th and final reflection for 2021. The 4th and final thing I want to encourage you to reflect on for 2021 are areas that you need growth and areas that you need pushing in. Yes, areas that you need growth. If that list is really, really short for things you've invested in terms of like your time and your resources to grow, then guess what? This is an opportunity for you to expand that list, right? That is an area of growth. Maybe you need to invest in more resources so that you can grow more. Maybe there's more time that you need to dedicate towards your personal growth, whatever it is, right? Maybe you're noticing that, hey, the list from number 2 is I'm not really putting myself in situations that I'm growing and getting stretched. Grow that list, right? That's an area of growth. Maybe you're noticing that there aren't a lot of areas that you're proud of when it comes to contributing to ending racism, right? That was reflection number 1. Okay, great. That is an opportunity of growth for the following year. Now it's time for 2022, and guess what? This is where we're going to get our commitments. There are 4 commitments for 2022. Let's go. The first commitment I want to encourage you to do is to write down concrete ways that you will fight racism. But guess what? In this, I want to encourage you to write down all the ways that you will push yourself beyond what you did in 2021. So don't have it be the same exact thing for 2021 that you do in 2022. This is a year for growth, right? It's about becoming your best you. And guess what? That means putting areas that you can push yourself. So maybe you contributed in terms of writing your name on a petition, right? This next year, maybe instead of doing just that, maybe it's that you're actually calling out racism at work that would have otherwise been uncomfortable for you, and that's how you contribute, right, to addressing racism. So whatever it is, just think about it and ask yourself, what will actually push me outside of my comfort zone, and commit to that. The second thing I want to encourage you to commit to is inserting yourself in situations that are uncomfortable and leaning into them. Yes. Inserting yourself in more situations that will allow you to grow, okay? So if you notice that your list for number 2 in your reflection for 2021 was a little short, just go ahead and start to expand it. Maybe you're noticing that maybe you're only putting yourself in situations of growth in your personal life and not your professional life, maybe not even your church life, or whatever the case is. Maybe you decide to commit to growing that list specifically for the areas of growth, right? For your professional life and for your church life. Or maybe it's flipped. Whatever the case is, whatever it is for you, go ahead and write down all the areas that you can lean into discomfort for 2022. And the third thing I want to encourage for 2022 is to commit to growing in your investment for time and money, etc. Guess what? 2022 is about doing things bigger and doing things better. With that said, I want to encourage you, maybe your level of time for committing to racial justice was maybe 30% of your entire schedule for personal and professional. Maybe you increase it to about 60% for 2022. Whatever the case is, right? Maybe it's that once a week you decided to go ahead and do a Bible study on all the ways that Jesus requires us to address racism. Maybe you decide to do it 2 times a week instead. Maybe you are investing a certain amount of money to a cause that's specific for Black and brown people. It's BIPOC led, and it is for specifically racial justice. Maybe you double that for the following year. Again, these are all different ways that you can kind of start thinking about how will you increase your investment? How will you double your investment for next year? And the fourth and final thing I want to encourage you to do is commit to making time to reflect on all of these things quarterly. Yes, racial equity is all about self-improvement, self-reflection, and what better way to do that than right now to schedule time for each quarter to watch this video again and really reflect and look at your list, pull that list up and look at all the ways that you said that you were going to commit to growing, right? Growing in your time, growing in your investment, growing in how you were contributing to the movement towards addressing racism, and also growing in the areas that you were like, hey, this is uncomfortable. This is going to stretch me, but guess what? I want to intentionally insert myself in so I can grow. So just want to invite you to make time to commit, right? Commit to personal reflection on a quarterly basis to see how you're doing and to track your growth. Okay, I hope that was helpful as you are preparing to enter into the new year, that you would use this as a barometer, right? 2021 reflection as a barometer for how you did, and 2022, the commitments for how you want to do, again, on a trajectory of growth in order to continue to position yourself to fight against racism in the best way possible for 2022. Be sure to like and subscribe, and guess what? Share it with someone because you know it will definitely bless them. Until next time.